we get the fun topic of pre-workouts, those magical things in the gym that everybody loves so much, right? Pre-workouts are the best selling, greatest selling supplements in all gyms and all supplement stores and shops and online and wherever. I got mixed reviews on why. I do not think that the bulk of your money on supplements should be going to what I have in front of me. Don't get me wrong, I love a good pre-workout. But amino acids, protein powders, things like that, they're going to build your muscle. Pre-workout's going to aid in having a good workout. So again, let's just say, hypothetically, you got, and now again, this is hypothetical, you got the greatest pre-workout ever known to mankind, whatever that is, right? We all have our favorites, we all have whatever, but whatever that is, the greatest one ever created, and you take it every day you ever work out, and you get the greatest workouts ever. I mean, no one ever gets better workouts than you. If you're not recovering from those workouts, nothing is going to happen. So, again, you can get phenomenal results with all of the recovery products, but you cannot get phenomenal results from nothing but pre-workouts, right? So again, don't pick option A or B, choose option C. Get a great pre-workout with your mega emphasis on your recovery products, right? Now I've got a bunch of them here. Matter of fact, at my gym I even sell more, right? I'm just kind of creating a visual image to go through how to read a label to find what do I want. The thing with pre-workouts is we can feel it. I drink it, 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later, whatever, you start feeling the effects of a pre-workout. Sometimes you'll feel your ears tingle. You'll get a little bit of energy. You'll maybe get some more focus, and maybe you feel like hell sometimes, right? Because it's too much stimulant or whatever. You know, we've all had those ones where like it just tore our insides up, you know. And, they call them pre-dumps, not pre-workouts, right? Because it does mess with our entire body sometimes, right? Cheap ingredients and things like that. And there's every second on Instagram, there's a new company coming out promoting whatever products and things like that. But again, if we're not understanding how to read labels, this is what this site is for. This is what this supplement corner is for. What is the ingredients and why is it going to benefit me? And how can I purchase it where I'm not going broke in the meantime? Again, all those factors that play, that's what we want. Don't go broke, get quality, good ingredients, right? And I got a million companies, and there's ones that are up here that are really good that I don't have in front of me because I just didn't bring them home from my gym. We're at my house right now. So if kids or a dog or something like that runs in and wants out, just bear with me, right? So what we're going to look at is this. To break it down to the simplest form, I think there's really three types of pre-workouts. There is the energy factor in a pre-workout. So it's going to be primarily based on energy / maybe performance, say performance in terms of maybe powerlifting, right? The other side, the opposite end of that spectrum is going to be what we chase after in bodybuilding, that pump, right? That increased blood flow, the veins popping out of your forehead or whatever it is, right? You want increased blood flow, the nitric oxide production. And then I think the third option, so those are the far extremes, maybe a non-stimulant to a stimulant. And the stimulants go from super crazy high to where you aren't going to sleep for 3 days, you know, again, down to your non-stimulant pre-workouts. And then what I tend to like, myself personally, I tend to like the middle of the road to the non-stimulant. Why? Caffeine is a blood vessel restrictor. On its own. So if you don't have enough pump or NO2 product, that isn't going to offset the blood flow restriction of the caffeine. I don't want to go get a workout with blood flow restriction, right? This isn't blood flow restriction training like bands, right? That's different. This is internal blood flow throughout the body restriction if we're just having a bunch of caffeine. Sure, I want to have some energy at the gym and all that type of stuff, but again, let's look at some of the myths too. I know guys that can't get a workout unless they have their pre-workout. It's okay. Let's not use a pre-workout as a crutch either, right? If you're not ready to work out, then there's something wrong, right? I mean, it's like, use it as an aid, not a crutch or a necessity. It's not like, oh, I have to have my pre-workout, or, you're just in a bad mood if you left your pre-workout or, forgot it. I used to be one of those guys. My wife is filming right now, and I remember, we would go to the gym together, and I'm like, okay, are you ready, honey? Yeah, I'm just about ready. She's getting her hair done or whatever, and I'm like, I'm taking my pre-workout, just letting you know. Okay, and then I'd take my pre-workout, and I'd sit there for an hour still waiting for it to get ready, and I'm like in a bad mood because I'm like, wasting my pre-workout, it's going to be a crappy, I'm like, okay, pick yourself up, Joe, let's not get extreme here and go get a workout, as if like all the effects of the pre-workout are gone, right, because I had to wait an extra hour. And she's laughing right now because that's the truth. I'm about ready, but that was my fault. It's not like, it's just a pre-workout. It's not going to do the workout for you. So anyways, moving forward on that. Non-stem, very high stem to middle of the road. What products are we looking for? I see people come in with these products from Walmart and this and that, and and it's just like, well, I really like this one. Well, what do you like about it? Well, I don't know. It gives me energy. Well, what's in it? I don't know. It's like we don't understand what's in the labels. We don't know how to read it. So again, what we're going to be looking for is this. Let's say we know what caffeine does. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on caffeine. I tend to like products that are personally 300 milligrams of caffeine and below. Now I've got some of them that are at my gym that are up to, I should almost feel bad saying this, up to around 500 milligrams of caffeine. They're actually on my shelves right now, and they are going to be a product that is discontinued because I just don't think anybody should have that much caffeine for a pre-workout. But again, so that's your high stem, right? So let's go down the list. And then what you do is you figure out what are these ingredients that I want, and then how do I piece them together. So what I look for primarily in a pre-workout is I'm going to look at increased blood flow. I want increased blood flow. So I'm going to look at products like how much citrulline. Now again, I'm not getting into what's L-citrulline and citrulline malate and types of these things. Citrulline is a precursor for L-arginine. So when I'm talking about citrulline, you can lump L-arginine into this as well too. So citrulline, clinically dosed at about 4 grams and above. What citrulline does is, again, it's a precursor for L-arginine, which increases blood flow. Nitric oxide booster. Blood vessel dilation, right? We want increased blood flow while we're working out. Buffer lactic acid in, out of the muscle. Again, shuttle the amino acids, get the water. Everything that we're wanting from a performance standpoint, we want increased blood flow is going to lead to increased performance in the gym. Also out of the gym, right? Other side effects sometimes can be there for men as well too. So we'll just leave that to another topic. So also arginine, again, arginine, citrulline. Somewhat one and the same. That is also responsible for converting to a product called ornithine. Ornithine is there, and it improves ammonia recycling or buffering, right? The more and more we work out, the more and more lactic acid buildup there is. What happens is there's ammonia buildup from the combustion of what's going on while we're working out. So ammonia builds up. So the more and more citrulline that we have, or L-arginine, again, they all convert to the same, and then they also eventually convert to ornithine. It's going to remove that ammonia buildup, which is, again, going to improve your pump. It's going to improve, again, if you're one of those people who want to work out longer, it is going to improve your performance. So again, citrulline is an unbelievable product. But again, if we're looking at it and it's, not clinically dosed or it's not a high level of it, a lot of these companies just kind of pixie dust sprinkle it as if it fell off the side of the factory and they're just brushing it in there. So I look for products that have high citrulline. For instance, we have a section on here of Surge supplements. Our partners at Surge, again, watch the section on the free section of supplements for Surge. I do a With Surge products, I have an individual video for every product they have, and also with Titan Nutrition. Now, Surge Extreme is one of my favorite pre-workouts on the market. 6 grams of citrulline. One thing that citrulline does, or not that it does, one thing that citrulline is, it is very tart. I've had it in a pure form where it's just, you'll see just plain citrulline at different, supplement shops and things like that. It is so sour. I remember I took a dry scoop of it before going on stage once, thinking I'm gonna, less water or whatever, and I was like, it was like the worst sour. It was like 7 million Sour Patch Kids in your mouth at once that weren't flavored. It was like the worst sour tart feeling ever. This pineapple flavor of Surge is to die for. They nail it on flavor. Anyways, I'm not getting into the flavor on this one, but I really get excited about that one. This has 6 grams of citrulline. So again, that is way above the clinical dose. They also have the Surge Active Trim. This has 4 grams of citrulline. So that is right there at that sweet spot. But I'm going to come back to other ingredients and maybe come back to these. You've got your Black Magic Keys, 7 grams, or not keys, they're Berserk, 7 grams of citrulline. You've got the non-stimulant pump product from Titan. Again, Titan has their own section on its website. I'm going to do a complete video on this product, but this is their non-stimulant. 1 scoop has 4 grams of citrulline. 2 scoops has 8 grams of citrulline with a non-stimulant. And that's the name of this is Pump. It is self-explanatory, amazing pump product. But again, 1 scoop is 60 servings, 2 scoops is 30. I do like my pre-workouts in the 30 serving range, right? I just like them that way. We have the Titan Cre-X, 4,500 milligrams of citrulline. We've got a non-stim here, Trilliant Labs. You've got your 3 grams of citrulline. Doesn't have any caffeine in it. Awesome pump product. So again, I got a million of these products out here. I'm not going to dive into all of them, but again, if I'm looking for a product that's going to have a pump product, I want to make sure it's got a good amount of citrulline. There's also pill form of your nitric oxide boosters. This one has your augmentine, beta-alanine, your citrulline. I'm going to dive into these other products. This also has beetroot powder. I actually have a little tub of beetroot at my office. Beetroot is a natural nitric oxide booster as well too. Again, just overall health. People not even looking in the gym world should be taking beetroot for overall blood flow, right? Again, it help with heart patients, right? They use it for that type of stuff. Beetroot is an awesome add-in to a pre-workout. Let's look at beta-alanine. A lot of companies out there throw in beta-alanine. So Surge, again, beta-alanine, 3 grams, 3,000 milligrams of beta-alanine. That's a clinical dose. A lot of them are, between 2,500 up to 3,500 is what you'll see. Beta-alanine, basically, it greases the wheels and it buffers creatine production as well too. So again, some of these things help other ingredients. So when these are formulated, you have some pretty intelligent chemists out there that say add this, add this. If you have a little bit of this, it's going to increase this. So maybe you don't need as much of this because we added this. And there's so much that goes into this from a scientific standpoint. But it fights muscle fatigue. Beta-alanine is going to be a muscle endurance product. So again, especially people in the gym, you want to be able to get those pumps and those workouts for longer times. Beta-alanine is definitely going to increase that. It does increase oxygen in the blood, so it is going to give some blood flow. And then also a lot of people notice increase in just strength. It is going to help with ATP production, similar, because again, it is going to help that creatine, because creatine does the ATP production, which I'm going to get into creatine right now. Creatine, there's all different types. I'm not getting into creatine monohydrate and all the Creapure and HCl, all these different things. There's a million different things out there on creatine, but it's one of the most researched supplements out there. But creatine, primarily from a pre-workout standpoint, is going to increase ATP, basically energy throughout the cell. So again, it's going to give that explosive power because it's going to increase ATP production. It is going to increase saturation within the muscles. So again, we need that water in the muscles for performance as well. It is going to aid in your recovery. It is also going to help with muscle performance. Creatine is also there for muscle growth. It's not anabolic, so to say, but again, with protein synthesis, the amino acids, it is going to aid in protein synthesis. When everything is all combined, creatine should be there. Creatine has been linked to fighting neurological disorders. Creatine is one of those things right now that actually helps with brain function. It is a nootropic. It also helps as a blood sugar defense. It's actually good for diabetics. Creatine is one of those things that have been really talked down upon sometimes, kidney issues and things like that. I'm not getting into a ton of that. But you should have an increase, they're like, well, if you don't drink a bunch of, we should be drinking a lot of water. Yeah, creatine can harm the kidneys and things like that if we're not drinking water, but we should be drinking water anyways, right? So that's not, don't blame creatine for someone not drinking water. I'm not going to get into that as well either. It will fight some fatigue. So again, from a performance standpoint, it's definitely going to be there. It should be dosed about 3 to 5 grams a day, maybe up to 8 to 10. I think some people, there's different ways of loading it as well too. But again, look at the product that you're getting. Sometimes people might do 20 grams a day for the first 4, 5, 6, 7 days, something like that. But that's a loading phase. Some require it, some don't. So that is something that creatine can do. Let's look at betaine anhydrous. We're going to look at we got some betaine anhydrous right here. We've got some betaine in the Surge product. Oh, I love Surge, right? Surge has a lot of stuff in it. Betaine anhydrous is going to be muscle endurance. It's going to allow, it is going to be a lactic acid buffer. Betaine anhydrous will also enhance protein synthesis. So again, that is a great thing to have in a pre-workout. Augmentin. Augmentin is another precursor for L-arginine. So again, augmentin, citrulline, ornithine, and L-arginine are somewhat kind of the same molecule. They're cousins, I guess, so to say. We'll just put it there. There is a nitric oxide boost. We call it an NO boost. It can increase your natural testosterone levels, men. Women, it's not going to increase your testosterone levels high enough to make you look like a man. Don't worry about it. But it also can help with blood glucose regulation, right? So again, it can also help with glycogen stores, that type of stuff as well. Let's look at, so again, augmentin. We've got a lot of, again, I'm going to read this off, the pump product from Titan. Just again, so this has 8 grams of citrulline. It's got 1 gram of augmentin. So I mean, from pump products, it's like glycerol or Hydromax, different terms for it. Glycerol is again, they'll call it Hydromax, it's a water pump. So you look at like citrulline, augmentin, all those type of things, what that does is that is going to be increased blood flow. What glycerol does is it actually works on the hydration, actually increases water from a cellular level basically. So that is going to increase your stamina and give more of a water type of a pump, right? So again, that is going to aid in performance. Again, glycerol in the pump product. You've got, so again, all these type of products out there have, again, it's just what is it that we're looking for versus just, oh, here's some cheap pre-workout with stuff I don't know that has some caffeine in it, right? So we've already talked about creatine. Some pre-workouts are going to have creatine in it. Some are not going to have it in it. Some people add it too. Some people don't. Some people do it at their, into their pre-workout. There will be sections in here in this website that's going to talk about maybe when to add creatine as well too. This is going to be primarily pre-workout. DMAE is another product that a lot of times you should be looking for. DMAE is going to be a nootropic type of product, which is going to give a lot of improved focus. You're also going to look at products like Norvaline. What Norvaline does is it basically helps nitric oxide boosters work better. So again, it's kind of like it's an aid in citrulline. It's an aid in augmentin. It basically buffers things to make them work better and longer. What it does is it's like if I have a car, and a car has a governor on it, meaning it's going to not allow me to go over like 85 miles an hour or something like that. So it's going to governor a result that we say we don't want. I mean, we shouldn't probably drive over 85 miles an hour, so the governor says we shouldn't do it. It doesn't allow for it. So nitric oxide boosters have a governor built into our body. Our body always looks for homeostasis, right? Getting back to normal. So when nitric oxide boosters are high, there's a reaction occurs, and amino acid is produced that is called arginase. And what that does is that is the governor for nitric oxide. It's actually going to then hinder that blood flow so it doesn't get too high. Because, the body doesn't know that we're going to work out for a half hour. So if we have all this nitric oxide production in the system, it starts freaking out and it says, no, let's limit this. So Norvaline's actually going to go in there and stop that from happening so we can get a little bit of a longer pump, so to say. So again, these are little add-ons that can be put into pre-workouts. So we could look at a pre-workout and say, this is 30 serving and it's $15, and this is 30 servings and it's $60. What's the difference? What you're getting, you get what you pay for, right? So we have to look at those things. Sometimes you'll see a newer product has Hyperzine A. Hyperzine A is a nootropic with focus. There's a company out there, Chemix. Speaking of nootropics, this has lion's mane in it. So a lot of times we look at pre-workouts that have nootropics in it. It's not necessarily, again, blood flow, performance, stuff like that, but it's focus. Sometimes, those days where it's just like, you just want to focus on the task at hand and not get distracted by life and just get a really killer workout. Tell you what, this has 600 milligrams of lion's mane. I could tell a difference. I'm like, man, I'm just so focused in on this workout. It feels great. And there's other nootropics. Again, there's another topic in this website that's going to talk about nootropics, but a lot of these have them in there. So if I'm looking at a pre-workout, again, so Joe, what do you take? What the heck do you take, I'm kind of one of those guys. Most of these things right here, these are samples that I have from my gym. So people are like, Joe, what do you take? I don't know. I love this one. I love this one. I take this one. I take this one. I definitely go for my non-stim. This one right here is a awesome one. There is a section on this website that's going to talk specifically about this product, and we're going to talk a little bit about it right now. Titan nailed it out of the park with their Cree-X. Because, Joe, which one do you take? What if one just had everything I just went through in it, right? We don't have to be chemists, right? This has 6 grams of 200 mesh creatine. Creatine has like 80 mesh, 100 mesh, 200 mesh. That's like Creapure. 200 mesh. It's kind of like if I had a grate, like I was, sifting through, to find gold or whatever, right? Those grating. The finer the material, the more it's going to drop through. Creatine is a water-soluble supplement. So some people say, man, I just feel bloated. I take creatine, I just didn't feel good. Well, you have a crappy creatine, if that's the case. I mean, there might be something else involved, but it's like if you're shaking it up in your shaker bottle and it's all clumped up at the bottom, imagine what it's doing in your body. Here's a canister full of water. If it doesn't shake up in that, and it's a water-soluble creatine, imagine what it's doing in your body. So this product, this pre-workout, one, tastes amazing. This is rock candy. They got different flavors, but again, there's a link on here to purchase directly from Titan. But it already has 6 grams of 200 mesh creatine. There's another section in this website that talks about BCAAs as a pre-workout. This has 4 grams of BCAAs right in the pre-workout. If we're going to go through citrulline, right here we got 4.5 grams of citrulline. We've got 1,500 milligrams of betaine anhydrous. We have your sodium bicarbonate, again, a side topic on that one. We've got your, again, it's got your magnesium. So again, this has your minerals, your electrolyte type minerals as well too. Citrulline, again, 4.5 grams. It's got your beta-alanine, your glycerol, again, the Hydromax, that water pump. It's got your L-histidine, which is kind of like your Hyperzine A. It has your pine bark extract, which is going to be it's a product that helps the absorption of these. So again, we got it in our system. This is going to speed up the absorption of those ingredients. Again, your 4 grams of BCAAs. This has L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is like lion's mane. It is a nootropic for focus. That is a huge nootropic. This does have some caffeine, 275 milligrams. So it's not a mega high dosage like some of the pre-workouts are on caffeine. So it is going to, and then it has that DMAE in it as well too for the focus, right? So all these things on the list are right in here. This actually has a little bit of sodium phosphate. So again, some of the electrolyte blends, but it also has some dextrose. Dextrose is a carbohydrate. There's a section on this website, click on it, that talks about carbohydrate, pre and intra and post carbohydrates. But dextrose is a great pre and intra workout because, again, we want to pack in those muscles full of our glycogen stores all in one pre-workout. So again, if somebody says, well, I got this $20, whatever, I'm just going to say it, C4 Sport from Walmart. No, it does not compare to this. Matter of fact, that does not compare to anything up here. That does not compare to Surge Extreme. That does not compare to Surge Active Trim. There's nothing in C4 Sport that could even touch any of this stuff because C4 Sport is a watered down version of C4. C4 has some good products. C4 Sport is crap. It's like the leftover byproduct of what they make on, it's like what's the byproduct of a meatpacking plant? Hot dogs, right? It's like, that is C4 Sport is like the hot dogs of pre-workouts, right? It's like the tilapia of the sea or whatever, right? Anyways, next topic on that one. So again, what pre-workout do you look at? Do not go spend all your money on a pre-workout. But again, if I'm looking for more of a result, I think I should match up my pre-workout with the results that I'm looking for. I was in one of those radical moods way back when I would not do a stimulant near my pre-workout. My pre-workout was B12 sublingual, 5,000 microgram, works awesome. And I would just do L-arginine tabs at about 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams of L-arginine and B12. That used to be my pre-workout. And I loved it. It was great. In those days, I wish I would have went back and probably added some beetroot powder, some beetroot extract. But those were my days where I just, I didn't want the caffeine. I was just chasing the pump. But again, if I got 6 grams of citrulline and the augmentine and some caffeine, it's going to offset that caffeine. This, with 300 milligrams of caffeine, get an awesome, crazy, unbelievable pump. Again, one of those pumps that just hurts, right? So I look at it and I say, if I want more of a hypertrophy type of exercise, more of a bodybuilding type of exercise, I am going to go with a really high pump product with citrulline, things like that. The caffeine, maybe the 300 range or below, down to none, even to the pill form type of things. There's one that I carry from Mutant brand, pill form, that is awesome. Mutant's got an awesome pump product. He'll even go to their website. It's very, very reasonably priced as well too. All the way down to, again, your non-stimulant pre-workouts. Again, your Titan pump. Again, there's a section on this website just to buy a pump directly from them. But then, what about if I'm a power lifter and I'm looking for just sheer raw power? Any of those would work for powerlifting as well too. I'm not saying, it's not like you have to have a big high stimulant to get all crazy and lift a bunch of weight. But that's where things like, this is Anabolic Warfare Maniac's a good one for that. Right here from American Made Nutrition, Blackout, that's a really, really good one. In the near future, there's a potential thing where I might be actually private labeling with American Made Nutrition. Really been thinking about that. The Chemix is an awesome pre-workout for that because of the focus side of things. You powerlifters are looking for performance. You want something with beta-alanine in it for sure. Because again, that's going to be more of that explosive power. Matter of fact, the Cre-X could really come in there because of the added creatine. So again, it's like, it is trial and error to a certain degree. But what I'm saying is, You should be able to get 100% of your workouts with never having a pre-workout and be just fine. Use these to aid in it. Don't use it as a crutch, right? Matter of fact, the active trim. Some people are like, well, you know, males, whatever, they want to get whatever. What about females? You know, I heard females shouldn't take creatine and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's just not true. Women, you definitely need creatine. It's not going to, you know, it's not going to make you blow up and bloat and all this type of stuff unless you have inferior creatines, right? Stay away from inferior creatines, and that's not going to happen. Now, a lot of times I will have maybe competitors get off of creatine as they get closer and closer to a show, because when you're down 3, 4, 5% body fat, yeah, there is a little bit of extra water retention that maybe now does show up, but it's hard to see if you're bloating if you're at 20% body fat, you know. So it's kind of, you know, it's just a harder thing to from a visual standpoint. We can feel the effects of it, but from a visual standpoint, it's not that big a deal. So I really like this product here, especially for women. Matter of fact, any of the Surge products are amazing for women. They have a very awesome non-stimulant as well too. But this active trim, one, they've got their flavors. They've got this unicorn one. It's like a lemonade raspberry. They got their Sex on the Beach. This is one of my favorite tasting pre-workouts out there. Matter of fact, this pineapple one is amazing as well too. And then they have a Miami Vice one. They have all the tropical type stuff. Their flavors, I'm telling you, it's one of those, like, I like a good pre-workout, but I look forward to the taste of those pre-workouts. But this actually has, again, 4 grams of citrulline. It's got 4 of the essential B vitamins in it. So again, it is going to give some of that energy. But what this also has, again, it's got your beta-alanine at 2 grams. It's got your betaine anhydrous. That's at 1,500 milligrams. It's got your taurine. It's got your norvaline. It's got your acetyl L-tyrosine, which is a nootropic for a focus. But this also has 200 milligrams of caffeine. So it's not just, bam, all this just crazy stim. So it is a lower stimulant pre-workout. But this also has 4 types of fat burners in it, fat metabolizers. So again, I really do like this product. So again, it's pre-workouts. Understand what do the ingredients do. One of the things that I've got here, almost every one of these products, one of my big, not necessarily must, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm about 90% on this. If I'm going to carry a product, I want a fully disclosed label or pretty dang close. Fully disclosed means every ingredient is listed out to the T. Every single ingredient listed out to exactly what it is versus, well, we got 10 grams of the following 15 ingredients. So it's like you don't know what the dosages are. Yeah, I mean, if I got 15 ingredients and I got to decide how much of those are in 10 grams, it's the first ingredient is the most abundant, and then it goes down from there. I do have some products that kind of say that. So here's, you know, 2.647 milligrams, you know, or you know, of the following about 10 ingredients, you know. And I understand that too. A lot of companies, you know, I will defend some companies that do that as well too. Why do they do that? Well, because they don't want people copying their products. This would be easy to copy because I could just say, well, I'll just put the exact same ingredient in it. This guy says, I don't want people copying my ingredient because this guy's actually a, you know, this is put together by the Gorilla Chemist. If anybody wants to follow a really smart dude on Instagram, follow the Gorilla Chemist. You know, very, very intelligent guy. He's saying, I don't want people to be able to copy my ingredients. So, I mean, I can see from both sides. I still like to be able to know exactly what I'm getting because if I can't understand the label, I can't compare. You know, because a lot of people come to me and they say, well, I used to take this. How's it compared to such and such? I'm like, well, send me a label. And it's 10 grams of the next 15 ingredients. I'm like, I don't know how to compare it because I can't tell exactly what is in it to the right and proper dosages. So I do like full transparent labels just because I from selling things, I just have an easier time selling it because I know exactly what it is. But again, pre-workouts, I don't want to say they're a dime a dozen because they're not, but many of them are. I mean, some of the best ones I've ever had, I've brought into the gym and they wouldn't sell because their label wasn't fancy. I mean, it's just pre-workouts, half the time they drive me crazy because it's like, I know what I like, I know what I want, but because the label's not fancy enough or whatever, it doesn't sell, or or maybe it's just an amazing product, but it tastes horrible. That's why these guys just nail it on flavor, and it is loaded with the right products. Titan, they nail it on flavor, loaded with the right products. So a lot of the pre-workouts, this is kind of, you're looking at a guy that's tried boatloads of them, and I'm kind of piecing things together and say, what do I like, that type of stuff. One of the ones I don't have up here is one of our partners with Axe and Sledge. They've got some really good pre-workouts as well too. But again, understand the labels. Look for the dosage on citrulline. Between 4 and 8 grams. I've seen it up to 10. 4 is good. 6 is awesome, right? When you're looking at citrulline products. I did have a product that had, 4 grams of citrulline, but it was 3 grams of, L-citrulline, 1 gram of citrulline malate. Yeah, it's 4 grams of citrulline is the way I see that. Beta-alanine, between 1,500 and say 1,500 up to, 3 grams or 3,000 milligrams. Augmentine at about 750 milligrams up to about 1,500 milligrams for augmentine. The glycerol, we'll call it, again, Hydromax or Glycer Pump. All of it's the exact same word, right? They just call it something different. I've seen that up to 2,500 milligrams. 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams is really good for that. Creatine, some are going to just kind of splash it with creatine. 1,500 up to 6 grams. You'll see that all over the board. If you are in a creatine or using a creatine product and your pre-workout does not have, again, like this one has 6 grams right in it, meaning there is no reason to even buy a separate creatine. This is just one size fits all. It's just got it all in there. I might pick another product where I'm adding BCAAs to it and I'm adding creatine to it. So I might go buy a pre-workout for 30, 40, 50 bucks, go buy some creatine for another 20, go buy some BCAAs for around, and next thing you know, here's a $100 product versus cost effective. That's better to do it that way because it has it all in there. Your Hyperzine A, again, that's going to be significantly lower dosages. Your Norvaline is going to be a lot lower. Your DMAE is going to be a lot lower. Those are all going to be under the 1 gram range. Beetroot powder, I've seen it up to 1 gram. I have beetroot powder in its natural form just from Now brand, and I'll take up to like 9 grams. Just beetroot. You can't over. 9 grams. It's like a tablespoon or whatever, or 3. It's a serving of it ends up being the equivalent of like 3 beets. So it's not like, if I eat 3 beets, I'm not going to overdose on beetroot powder if I take a tablespoon of beetroot powder. But for anybody who's never tried to add beetroot powder to your pre-workouts, I encourage you to try it. Go on. I have Now brand. One of the brands I definitely believe in. Very inexpensive. It will make your pre-workout kind of taste like a garden dirt, but it is what it is, right? Beets aren't the most tasty of vegetables out there. Most people don't like them, but very much. But again, from a pre-workout standpoint, I'm telling you, you're going to get an awesome, crazy pump if you throw some beetroot powder in there as well too. Plus, it's all natural. So, but again, I hope this helps with the pre-workout. Again, they're all over the board. You have your pump product. You have your high stem with your beta-alanine for just your sheer raw power. The focus agents of nootropics, trying to cross them in between. And then I always look at how do we bridge the gap between one extreme to the other? And that's where it's like, you've got some of your more extremes, and then I've got your pump product with your caffeine, and I've got your non-stimulants, and it's kind of like, one thing is, I don't know, what time do you work out? If you work out late at night, get a non-stim. It's pointless to go work out with a really high stim if you're working out late at night, because again, when does recovery happen? when you're sleeping. If a pre-workout is going to affect your sleep, it's not the pre-workout for you. Because again, are we going to the gym just to get a really good workout, or are we going to the gym to get the result? You know, if it's going to be a high cardio type of thing, matter of fact, like you CrossFitters or you know, your big group fitness people and stuff like that, I would err on the side of low stim to none. Matter of fact, Titan has a BCAA product out there with a very little bit of caffeine, about 120 milligrams of caffeine. That would be a good pre-workout for somebody, say maybe they're just maybe a morning cardio or something like that. But I would still err on the side of very low caffeine, maybe something like that. Because again, if I'm doing a bunch of cardio activity, my heart rate's already getting up. Yeah, you're gonna feel good, and you're tingling and all this stuff, your workout. But it's affecting your health. If you're doing cardio, you're already getting your heart rate up. Why overtax your heart just in search of this feel-good euphoria feeling of getting this great workout in? Because again, this is about your health as well too. Most of us get way too much caffeine. You know, hell, we probably drank a Bang that day or something like that, you know, and then also we go get our pre-workouts. And have I been guilty of this? Yes, I have been. So again, we're all hypocrites to a certain degree as well, right? But again, don't go drink a bunch of Bangs and then go find some great pre-workout and go do, you know, a bunch of cardio or whatever. But I mean, yeah, if you are doing more cardio type activity, I would shy away from the stimulant type stuff. You know what? Get your pill form. Maybe your Creax, not a ton of stimulant here, but get your pump, get your blood flow product, get those type of things. Matter of fact, I would really even stick with the Surge Active Trim. 200 milligrams caffeine. It's not incredibly high, but it is going to have your B vitamins. It is going to have your focus agents, and it's also going to have your fat burners in there as well too, you know, to metabolize fat. So again, I wouldn't go with the really, really, really high stimulant stuff if you're doing the cardio, especially you CrossFitters. I mean, I have a lot of CrossFit people that come into my gym, you know, for products and things like that, and they, you know, some of them, you know, which a lot of times I talk people out of specific products, you know, because again, I want to match what you're doing with the product that I think would be best suitable. Again, this isn't like a doctor prescribing something, but I look at it like it is. You know, it is like that. This is something, you know, I take this serious. So again, if you're going to do a bunch of cardio, I would shy away from a lot of the stimulant. Again, Titan, they make an awesome BCAA product. Again, get your BCAAs, 120 milligrams of caffeine. It tastes amazing, and you'll get a good pre-workout. You would be better off getting a BCAA carb type of product. Again, like your dextrose, something like that. You know, sip on some BCAAs. I would put more of your time, money, and energy into BCAAs. Matter of fact, there's some BCAA products. Again, there's a section on this website that talks specifically about BCAAs, but we have BCAA products that have citrulline. I got BCAA products that have betaine. I got BCAA products that have beta-alanine. You know, so there's, again, one size does not fit all. Try them. Matter of fact, what you do, these pump products, citrulline, augmentin, all these type of things, they also build up tolerances. You know, just like caffeine, we start building up tolerances. There's another stimulant, you know, out there that, you know, that doesn't create so much, you know, tolerances, things like that. But, and, you know, and other pre-workouts have it in there. But it's just, you know, sometimes it's just go off of pre-workouts, just get off of them. You know, let the body just take a break from citrulline and augmentin and beta-alanine and caffeine and all type of stuff. Get rid of that stuff so your body gets rid of these tolerances. You know, I'll do this for a show. Again, I know this firsthand. I'll do this with a show. About 4 weeks from a show, I go off pretty much every supplement I take. You know, I don't even take protein powders. I mean, I'm hungry 4 weeks out. If I want protein, I'm just going to eat. You know, the only supplements I take are minerals. You know, ZMA, you know, your zinc, magnesium, stuff like that. Again, there's a separate section for that. But I go off of especially pre-workouts. And every competitor I ever train, I tell them, get off your pre-workouts. Because what happens is, especially bodybuilders, we're wanting that, you know, that big fullness and the veins popping and all that type of stuff, right? Well, when I build up a tolerance to citrulline, And then all of a sudden I go off it. And I'm about 4 weeks out and I go off all my pre-workouts. Then all of a sudden right before I go on stage, I just take a little bit of citrulline, maybe a little bit of pump product, the non-stimulant stuff. It's as if and then some beetroot, right? I mean, I love beetroot for that. But it's as if I've never taken this product before, and it's like it's like the first time again. And you just, man, you just see that pump, just get crazy because I reintroduced something that my body got rid of that tolerance for. So again, guys, pre-workouts, this is like the biggest topic in the supplement world because they're the most popular sellers. Because again, all these things that I just read out to you in these lists, you can feel the effects of what they do. So that's why they're so popular, because we can feel it. Do not use them as a crutch, though. Use them as an aid in the result that you want. So again, if you want a really big, hypertrophy type of bodybuilding exercise, get a specific type of product. If you want more powerlifting, get a specific type of product. If you're going to do more running, get a specific type of product. If it's going to be more CrossFit and cross training, get a specific type of product. There is not one perfect pre-workout for everybody. This one's close. Titan Cree X, I got to throw that in there for their plug. It's close. Surge Extreme, it is close to almost an entire one-size-fits-all. But I still can't claim that, right? We are all different. But again, look at the different sections on this website for actual company-specific, where I dive more into each entire product. And then I challenge somebody. Go, there's other ones out there. There's ones up here that I don't even have that I do carry at my gym. But man, if someone's got questions on this stuff, or they want me to review one and maybe compare the two, you know what? I love doing this stuff. I love looking at new stuff. Reach out to me and let's talk about it. So anyways, I hope this helps a ton. Maybe clear the air, get rid of the fog that is just this topic, this mystical topic of pre-workouts. I hope that just shed some light on it so that you know exactly what you're getting. So again, reach out to me, but keep watching for more. There's going to be updates on pre-workouts left and right on this website.